All right, OpenSea, I looked this up, is now a tridecacorn. That's how you say something that is a private company that's valued at 13 billion. They have it for all the numbers. I'm only messing with decacorns in 2022, people. If you're a sad unicorn, don't even care about you. Maybe a pentacorn. I think that's 5. I'll have to check that. I care. But anyway, OpenSea has risen to the top of the charts when it comes to private valuations for NFT firms. I think it's really a interesting story for a company that is really old in crypto years and has been at it for a while, even when NFTs were in their doldrums. I'm going to toss this to Adam for his take. When you see these numbers here entering 2022, what does this say about OpenSea and the NFT markets more broadly?
Well, I think it says that OpenSea has become the incumbent in a space that really has, doesn't have a lot of incumbents yet, right? Like you can look back a couple of years and you can find the companies who now today have these, multi-billion-dollar valuations. And I think that that's a trend that we're going to see grow. The most interesting part to me about these valuations is that, again, I think that it has something to do with crypto, but I think a lot of it has to do with just kind of the market environment that we're in right now, right? Where things that look like they have growth, things that look like they have futures are incredibly valuable, more valuable than they've ever been before in history. And so as that trend continues, again, like we may see these valuations, you may get to something beyond a tridecacorn. I got to tell you, and I won't be all surprised by that.
What is beyond a tridecacorn?
I was on Wikipedia last night when I was writing this story because it broke late last night. It came out, and New York Times reported it first around 8 or something, and then they came out and confirmed it a bit later. I was looking this up. I was trying to find the word to make a really sweet tweet. I'm going to find that list for you, and one day we're just going to rattle it off, but I don't have it right now. So Jen, besides funny words for unicorns and up, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I mean, OpenSea has been in the space, I think, since 2017. I think this is just indicative of their first mover advantage. And I'm interested to see how they're going to grow from here. So I think they raised a $300 million round. They are talking about focusing a lot on customer support and education. And we talked a lot about that yesterday, given the ape story. There was that person who lost 8 of their apes on OpenSea due to low security. Adam, I know that you have thoughts to share about that. So I'm going to let you share those after I'm done this thought, since you weren't on the show yesterday. But I think that's going to help them maintain their advantage as more people get into the space. I think they have 1.8 million active users, so they still have a lot of room to grow when it comes to users, when it comes to getting people into the NFT space. So I think that focus on customer support and education is going to be key, and it will be interesting to see how they handle some of these scams and I was going to say dramas as they move forward. But Adam, I'll pass it back to you because I know you had some thoughts on the ape story.
Yeah, I mean, there's a real meaningful challenge around securing these types of assets, especially as the space goes more mainstream. And really, that's what we're seeing here. We're seeing this increasing drawing back of the lens from this very zoomed in place that we've been in, just kind of in the world of NFT and NFT enthusiasts. And NFTs really are becoming something that everybody, who wants to demonstrate conspicuous consumption, at least, wants to be involved with. And brands that are out there very much want to be taking and, be part of this moment. And so I think that we're going to see an increasing focus on that. And along with that comes an increased focus on people who are trying to steal that stuff. A lot of this stuff is just behavioral. You can't really solve these problems. But that is, I think, something that will become an increasing point of tension as time goes on, probably over this year. As we see more and more normal people get involved, and as we see those security challenges really separate the space into 2 different areas. One side that allows you to really, that makes it your responsibility, right? Takes a true kind of crypto purist view of it. And then on the other side, you have effectively what will become NFT banks and what will become crypto banks. We've already started to see those come out, but I think that it's a trend we'll see accelerate pretty rapidly this year as we see more things like Bored Ape Yacht Clubs become sort of cultural movements unto themselves, irrespective of what you individually might think of them.
Yeah, and you look at some of these numbers.
Them as normal people. Sorry, Zach.
The normies. We can say it here, okay? We're among friends. Looking at some of the metrics that OpenSea is doing according to public blockchain data is just really interesting, right? In the past month, we're talking about 2.4 billion in total volume. We're talking about something like 1.6 million transactions on Ethereum alone. They also support Polygon NFTs, and I'd imagine they're going to add some other networks to their offerings as well, potentially Solana down the line, though none of that is yet known. So it's interesting to see just how quickly they've cemented themselves as, again, I think Adam is right, the incumbent in this space. And with that comes the haters. We saw the SOS token airdrop. There's a lot of talk about making a more decentralized NFT marketplace that doesn't exist through the control of a centralized intermediary, which OpenSea is. But as we saw with Coinbase, it's often these middlemen in this industry who attract the most high valuations, also the most users, also probably the most utility. I mean, if you look at dApps on Ethereum, other than Uniswap, OpenSea is probably the biggest game in town. So between OpenSea and Uniswap, that's where you're seeing most people who are interacting on chain on Ethereum. That's where they're doing it. So it's really interesting to see that they are raising funds at such a sky high valuation, not as high as FTX's 25 billion from a few months ago, but still pretty big and really interesting to see where they're going to go from here as NFTs continue to go mainstream.